If you want to get into property full-time, listen to this. I just had a student ask me a question around what he should do, whether he should work in another career that's not related to property, or whether he should get a job in like a property related industry so that he's in a better position to then do property full-time. One really good thing that my student did was went all in. He sold all of his properties overseas. He moved to Australia, so he took a massive leap of faith selling all those properties, but those properties were in a declining market. He took a little bit of a hit with the properties that he sold. In other words, he didn't sell them for as much as what he originally thought he was. But in saying that, the market's still declining, so he did pretty well. He's sitting on a whole heap of cash. And so he's ready to go and start his property journey properly. So he's gone all in from day dot, which is a huge mental mindset that you've got to put yourself in to start with. If you are going to make this work and do it full time, you've got to go all in. No different to turning up every day for the boss if you're working for somebody else. So secondly, I told him, look, it doesn't actually matter whether you work for somebody in the property space or not. That makes no difference. It may help you, but it also may hinder you. So you can look at it in two different lights. One, it may help you because you may get some insight into that company and you might be able to replicate it, but then in the same token, you may become complacent. So you might be in a position where you only just learn like a small piece of the puzzle. So there's almost no point in doing a role for somebody else. And you're in employee mentality. Business owner thinking is a lot different to being an employee. An employee, you get paid every single week. When you're a business owner, you might get paid 1 week, then you might have to wait another month. And if you're doing large property development deals, you've got to wait 5 years to really get paid. So you're in for the long game. There's no instant gratification when you're doing especially big property development deals, but even smaller ones. Like the small property development deals might take you 18 months to 2 years, possibly, if you're doing the whole piece, including the construction. And that's a small deal, so you've got to be willing to wait a couple of years before you really see, a big payday. Or if you want to do, quick turnaround strategies, you've got to hustle and you've got to then do those quick strategies that I teach, which might mean you get a big lump of cash after 3, 6, or 12 months without doing, the construction part of the project. So with saying that, it doesn't actually matter whether you work for somebody else in the property industry. I never did. I worked in engineering, didn't have anything to do with property. Skill set might have been somewhat similar with the construction side of things, but that's only stage 6 of a 7-stage process. So I needed to learn the other 6 stages. So don't just focus on, hey, I can get a job in this industry and I can learn all the ropes, because you may just focus on that section. Truly, property developers outsource basically everything anyway. The only thing that's not outsourced, might be the site finding or, the overall strategy on what you're going to do. But even, in saying that, the site finding you outsource to real estate agents, buyers agents, people on the ground, people that bring you deals. So it's really about your level of thinking. You don't have to work for somebody if you don't wish. I truly think the best skill to have in any industry is actually the skill of sales, like getting in front of people, talking to people, because that really helps you with everything. Like even if you're going for a job, being able to sell makes a huge difference, and being able to sell yourself, because without doing that, you're not going to be able to get the job. Doesn't matter how good you are at that role, unless you've got runs on the board that you can truly prove yourself. But a lot of it still comes down to you. You're going to be interviewed, and people are either going to warm to you or they're not. That's just a matter of life. We are human beings. So just keep that in mind. If you are going to jump or want to jump into the property development space full-time or property space full-time, it doesn't actually matter whether you're working for somebody else in that space already or whether you're in a completely unrelated industry. That doesn't matter at all. So just keep that in mind. The one biggest thing is you've got to go all in. And my student went all in by selling all of his properties overseas, moving to Australia and really starting again from zero, but starting with cash in the bank, where he's in an awesome position, and even mentally from that position of starting again, doing it properly and wanting to quit his full-time job.